Hi guys, want to show you my new little toy? No, it's not naughty. It's my new camcorder. And I'm going to figure out how to use this bad boy because that sounds like a lot of fun. And I love technology. It comes with one of these little guys. So I can actually like ding 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 and nobody will be any of the wiser and you won't see me like leaning in. That'd be awesome. I did a couple videos. No. And basically it was me whining and complaining. And we don't need that. I already have to deal with that in my head. I don't need to actually inflict that upon the world. So what I'm going to go with instead is things that bring me joy. This will be a short list because quite honestly, that's not true. Joy. What brings me joy? Thai food. Oh my God. Gangai, which is, it means chicken soup in, a dialect of Thai that used to be in Laos. And when Laos fell, the U.S. took in refugees, a lot of them moved to Detroit. So I get it. When I learned about Thai, with Laotian influence in it. And it's amazing, and I love it hot. That brings me joy. Tex-Mex brings me joy. I'm just going to go on food for a hot minute. I'm going to switch over to other things, but Tex-Mex, especially, Laredo, Texas. Dudes, you rock. In Laredo, Texas, I ate the best Tex-Mex I've ever had in my life, and it was just like, Detroit has Middle Eastern food like you wouldn't believe. Shish tawuk with taum, and pita bread. You take the pita, you open it up, because their pita is the kind that opens up, not like the Greek stuff. It's just a slab of bread. It pops open. You put your chicken in there, because shish tawuk is just chicken on a stick that's barbecued. You put it in there, you take your taum, you put it in there, and they have these, pickled beets. Stick those in there and eat it. Oh, amazing. What else brings me joy? Standing in a museum in front of a piece of art, real art, that when you look at it, you're like, how many thousands of hours did somebody stand in front of this, just going like this to make this thing look like that? Holy crap. For me, it's the process behind it. I can see the beautiful picture, but there's just this process that happened to get it there that just awes me. Standing in front of something that's thousands of years old and knowing that somebody sat there and carved it and wondering what they were thinking when they were doing that. That interests me. That brings me joy. Walking in a city that I've never been in, looking at the architecture, and just in awe of how things were put together. I was in Cincinnati. That city is weird. It reminds me of the East Coast, except it's like extremely hilly. Extremely hilly. So you have these houses. It's like San Francisco. Have these houses. Here's a wall, and then it's like this, and then you have a little roof. And you just look at it like, holy crap. Can you imagine being the guy up there on what's obviously huge scaffolding, laying bricks one at a time? And down is a long way down. And you're hoping that the work you did on the foundation was good, because unlike in a flat place, if it sinks, it's going to fall. That brings me joy. Just the sheer craftsmanship of the work that guy put in. What else brings me joy? My job. When I walk up in front of all my managers and I start going through, we call them FTAs, when you go through the problem statement of why something happened, and you get to the end and everybody just sits there and goes, that was really well put together. Congratulations, that was excellent. And I just sit there like, that took about 14 attempts, but I got it. and my team sat there and I walk them through it, how I got to where I was, and I'm like, does this make sense? And we change it like over and over and over again until finally it's like, it's the perfect thought. It doesn't happen very often. That's because I work on my stuff all the time and I rarely have issues. I oftentimes have to go back and look at some good ones from the past to go, I don't remember how I ended this one. I need to make sure I've got it correctly. What else brings me joy? Oh, just talking to people and seeing them light up. When I say something snarky and wait, and it dawns on them how snarky that was. Or when people take up some of the stuff that I say. Living the dream is now universal at my job because I say that a lot. And I just laugh. I don't even, when I say it now, it's like, I need to come up with a new phrase. This one's getting really old. I tried. Nothing's fitting, so I'm just okay. When somebody walks up to me and knows me from any of the things that I do and has something nice to say, that brings me joy. It's helpful if if what they're telling me, I have some concept of who they are back. Like I met these two guys on the trail, and I asked them how they were doing after I scared the shit out of them because they didn't hear me, because apparently I'm invisible and make no noise. I scare the shit out of people all the time. I literally make no noise. Even though I can hear myself stomping, I make no noise for others. So I scared him, and I said, well, how you guys doing? And the one guy says, living the dream, and I stopped, and I said, we say that at work all the time. He says, oh yeah, where do you work? And I told him, and he goes, my stepdad works there. Yeah, his stepdad kind of sort of works for me. So that was fun. He was really hot, by the way, which, straight boys in Indiana. I'm pretty sure I did a thing on straight boys and guys in Indiana. Both of which, no, thank you. I'll probably meet a guy from Indiana. He'll probably be bi. That's how it works. That is exactly karmic for me. It's all good. So joy for me is just experiencing things with people, good food, good art. It has absolutely nothing to do with shopping or, buying a big house. I've owned a big house. My ex and I had a 3,100 square foot McMansion in one of those like hoity-toity subdivisions with a pool in Indiana, and a pool and ponds everywhere. And while I liked that house, it was a nice house. The spark of joy was going through it, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it, then doing those things to it. And then when I was done, I'm like, this is a lot of work. And I'm not feeling like ecstatic. So we downsized to 1,700 square feet. Now I've downsized to 900, and this is too big. I'm looking at 600 because I need to move because this place is too expensive. This costs more than my mortgage at my last house. It's BS. So I'm looking at smaller. I'm looking to move to Seymour, which there's not much there. But what do? Not much. I don't need this. If I have a gym, I'm good. And if I have internet access, which Seymour has internet access because it's not like the complete sticks. So I'm good. My joy would come from this, from you guys, interacting with you, from doing a good job, and I'd be 45 minutes away from Louisville, and I'd be about an hour from Indy. And since Indy is not bringing me any joy, neither so is Louisville, but Louisville's nicer. More things to do in Indy, nicer people in Louisville. I'll go with people. It's better. Anyway, so I want to talk about joy because the last two things I did made me not feel so joyful. And I was trying to communicate how awful it is when people, their expectations of you are completely selfish, and you realize that you don't have time for everything that other people want. I make time for joy. You should make time for joy. A friend of mine was depressed. He told me this, and I said, I need you to write down one thing that brings you joy. One thing. Write it down. Put it on the wall in front of you. Or clip it to your computer, or whatever you need to do, but put it in front of you. So you can sit there and look at it and say, okay, there's my joy. It worked for me. I just tried to list them out. Don't do that. Lists don't make people happy. Feelings make people happy. Own your feelings. Live your life. Find your joy. Write down something. Stick it in front of you so you can at least, when you're feeling like crap, which we all do. We all have our moments. You can look at it and say, that right there is why I'm suffering through this, because I will get to do that again. And that is infinitely better than what's happening to me right now. And this is transient, and that is not. I love you guys. Know that in your heart. I love you. I love you, dude. Yeah. Get your act together, son. And hurry your butt up, because I'm getting sick of waiting for you. I'll talk to you later.